I had the pleasure of hearing Steve Farley a week and a half ago at the Yavapai Democratic Monthly Meeting. And we invited him to speak, and he had an opening in his schedule, and so did we. So it's just a pleasure to introduce him. He's one of the 3 Democratic candidates for governor, and we've heard from the other 2. So now we hear from him.
Is anybody here ready to change Arizona?
Yes.
Well, is anybody here ready to stop us being a joke on late night television? Is anybody ready for a governor who's actually governing for us and not for a couple of out-of-state billionaires? Well, you came to the right place, because with your help, I will be the next governor of the state of Arizona. Let me tell you a little bit about who I am. I've represented Tucson, the legislature, for the last 12 years. I'm actually the only Democratic candidate for governor who has ever served in elected office. And I'm also the only Democratic candidate for governor who has ever won an election. And I've won 6 in a row. And the office I've served in the legislature, I served 6 years in the House, 6 in the Senate. I'm currently the Assistant Minority Leader in the Senate. Gives me exactly the kind of experience that a governor needs to be able to be effective from day one. Every policy that comes before the governor has already come before me. I've got a track record. When I say good things that you like, you don't have to wonder whether or not I'm actually meaning them or am going to carry them out when elected. I have a 12-year track record. Look it up. Because probably the most important thing I've done for the last 25 years is I've been a dad. I've got 2 daughters. My oldest daughter graduated from college last year. She's now living and working in Brooklyn, having this adventurous life. And my youngest daughter just graduated from Tucson High School last year. She was number 17 in a class of 755. Big urban district school. And I saw, for those 4 years, particularly with her, both my daughters went to Arizona public schools. My parents were both public school teachers, so I was born in this. But for the last 4 years, I had a parent's eye view of the devastation wrought upon our public school system by this governor and this legislature. And it has to stop. At my daughter's school, they have 1/3 of the computers they need. And the average age of those computers is 12 years old. We have to govern this state for us and invest in ourselves. The reason my daughters got such a great public education in Arizona is because of the quality of their teachers. And we're paying our teachers 50th in the country in average salary. It would take a 7% raise to get to 49th. 52% of our teaching positions in Arizona in public schools are either vacant or held by somebody without proper qualifications right now. Because other states treat us like a farm team. They come and find our best teachers and they offer them $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 signing bonuses, and they take them away. Our teachers have been walking out permanently for years before this walkout happened. The reason these teachers walked out was for their students, not on their students, because they saw that the future of these kids depended on investment in our public education system. 1 in 4 kids live in poverty in the state right now. And the best tool we've ever invented to allow people to lift themselves from poverty is universal, high-quality public education. Now, the good news is my experience I'm the ranking member of the Senate Finance Committee. I was the ranking member of the House Ways and Means Committee. I'm on the Appropriations Committee and the Joint Legislative Budget Committee. So I know our budget inside out. I know our revenue picture inside out. And when Governor Ducey says we just don't have the money to invest in public education or anything else, he's lying. We have the money, we've chosen to give it away. And I am in fighting shape to take on Doug Ducey in November. I am ready. I've been serving for 12 years in the minority in this legislature, and that's got fire in my belly. So I'm doing what it takes to get this thing done. And I am grateful for your support. Thank you so much. Go out and tell your friends. Let's take this state for us. Thank you. Thank you, Steve.
Our next speaker is running for Secretary of State, Mark Robert Gordon. He's an awesome candidate. Come on forward, Mark. Thank you for being here tonight.
Of course, thank you for having me. Hello, Prescott. That's it? Come on. Hello, Prescott. There's a little spirit. Hello, I am Mark Robert Gordon, candidate for Secretary of State. I have spent 26 years working around the country in voting rights, making sure that people's right to vote is protected, making sure that the Voting Rights Act is complied with, making sure that people's right to vote is not abridged, making sure that the system works, that the best technology is in place, making sure that voting is accessible to everyone. In 26 years of doing this work around the country, it pains me to say that it's my home state and my home state, Arizona's election office, which has committed the worst and most frequent voting rights violations in such a short amount of time as the 3.5 years under our current Secretary of State, Michelle Reagan. Under this Secretary of State, plans were approved that led to 6-hour lines in Maricopa County, 5-hour lines in sparsely populated Cochise County, 2-hour lines in Yuma County, for goodness sake. As for the 6-hour lines in Maricopa County, Michelle Reagan said that was blamed on voter confusion. What it was a plan to reduce 205 polling sites to 60 in Maricopa County, the 4th most populous county in the country. That's not voter confusion. The only thing I'm confused about is how she became Secretary of State in the first place. So you got that. You got 200,000, I'll repeat the number because it's not minute, 200,000 of your fellow citizens who did not receive election pamphlets in advance of an election for 2 hotly contested propositions to tell them where to go to vote, when to vote, and what the heck is on the ballot. This is the same Secretary of State that has published the wrong dates for elections on the Secretary of State's website multiple times and left it up after being told that there was a mistake. Arizona from day one was about expanding people's right to vote. We had a citizens initiative in 1912, the year that this state became a state, a citizens initiative to give women the right to vote. That was well in advance of the 19th Amendment. This is what our state is about. It's about participation, democracy, making the system work for everybody. It's not for putting up barriers for people to vote. It's not for dividing Arizonan from Arizona. It needs to be about uniting this state. And that's what this one office should be. It should be run in a nonpartisan way that serves everybody equally. That's what the Secretary of State is about. This is what I do. And this is about you. It shouldn't be about any politician advancing themselves. It shouldn't be just because there's an opening, just because Michelle Reagan is vulnerable. It's about protecting you and your vote. It's about you. I'm Mark Robert Gordon. That's why I'm running. I ask for your support. I no longer need signatures on petitions that are handed in, but you each should have received a flyer and an envelope. Sign up to follow our campaign online. Go to the website so you get our emails. Follow us on social media. The link is on the back of that as well. And that little thing, they make us do our job here, the little envelope thing, this is going to be a hotly contested race, primary and general election. We need your support, so please consider giving us something. I'm happy to answer some questions. Thank you for having me here tonight.
Yes.